And today I'm sporting a high bun today. Yes, all my hair is up in this bun. And these are my earrings from my website. Oh, they're so good. I love these. But anyway, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a story time all about what's happened to me. And and I wanted to just talk about the time that I was kidnapped. Yes, it happened to me. So anyway, I was dating someone for about 2.5 years, and we was going through a really bad breakup. You know, when you just can't just break away from a relationship and you guys are still arguing, and he got really angry, and my ex had anger issues at the time, might still do, I don't know, but he had anger issues, and he was banned from my mum's house, and these times I was living with my mum. And I was trying to move on with someone else who also happened to be a Leo. And my ex was a Leo. And I'm an Aries, if you don't already know. Okay, so this guy's saying, look, I really care. Like, I'm on the phone, like, texting. He's like, oh, I really care about you. And I'm getting messages from him and from my ex saying, look, I'm angry, but I want to talk to you, but I want to see you, and let's talk about it. And I was like, oh, this guy. Okay, I said, okay, cool. Like, come outside my house and we can talk in the car. So based on my previous history with him, I know he gets angry, right? But whenever I say, look, you get too angry, chill out, he never ever listened. So I said, this time I'm going to get my phone, I'm going to record him and play it back to him afterwards so he can hear how he sounds. Okay, that was the initial plan. So anyway, he said, he texted me, he's like, I'm outside. So cool, I put my little recorder thing in my pocket, and I went outside and I couldn't see him anywhere. So I walked around to, like, there's a quiet car park around the back of my house, which has no lights, no nothing in it. So I thought, is he in there? So walked around there now, and I see his car, and usually he's pumping music from his car. These damn Leos just being loud and out there and in your face. And there was no music coming from the car at all. I couldn't even see him. I tried to open the door to the car door wasn't opening. And then I just hear, like, footsteps. I turn around and there he is. And he's obviously taller than me and bigger than me. And he's wearing gloves. Those Nike gloves you wear for, like, sport? Like, they're Nike leather gloves. And when he puts these gloves on, you know what time it is, right? So he put these gloves on, he was in my face, and he's like, stop contacting my family, blah, blah, like, just shouting at me. I'm in a nice, quiet area. This is my mum's little place, and it's just lots of white people around. There's no noise. You hear a fucking pin drop around there, right? And he's just screaming at me, and I turn around, and, like, the light goes on in someone's house, and he's just screaming at me, like, screaming. So I'm like, look, can we just go in the car? And I'm standing there thinking, wow, like, what's going to happen? Because is he going to hit me right now? Because he's just in my face screaming. I'm like, I'm trying to talk, and I'm talking like this because, as you can see, right, I have quite a gentle voice. Like, I'm not very aggressive in my tone. So as he's arguing with me, I'm saying, can you just calm down? Can you just get in the car? Like, I know what he's like, and my face was just like this. Can you just get in the car, please, and just talk about it? Bearing in mind, because I just left my mum's house just to chat to him, I didn't bring anything, like, at the time I wasn't driving. I didn't bring my Oyster card, which is like a bus ticket kind of fare thing. I didn't bring anything with me, just my house keys and my phone. So I got into the car with him, and he got into the car, and he told me to shut the door. I was like, okay, because I wanted it open, but he said shut the door. I shut the door. He puts the car engine on. I thought, okay, what's he doing? I'm just sitting there like, what's he doing? So then he starts driving off. He just sped off, and as he's about to, like, properly drive off, like, go into gear 3, I just open the door, like, I don't want to go anywhere. And he's like, nah, stay in the fucking car, close the fucking door now. Okay, so I was like, okay, let me just shut the door. I was like, I haven't got anything with me, I don't want to go anywhere, let me just stay here. He's like, nah, I'm going to show you what's crud, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this to you, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sitting there in the car like, what is going on? Like, why is this happening to me? You know, I just wanted to try and resolve things with my ex and see if I can move on with someone else and blah, blah, blah. All types of things in my head right now. So he's driving away, driving off. I'm asking, please let me out the car. Please just let me go. He will not let me go. He's driving off even more, telling me to shut the fuck up. And then we're driving towards like a park. And he says to me, he says, if you don't shut the fuck up, no, not that came after. But he said to me, I'm going to take you to the park and I'm going to beat the shit out of you and leave you there. And I'm sitting here actually feeling a little bit scared, but I'm not showing it because I don't really show that I'm under pressure if I feel like I'm precious. I'm not showing that I'm scared, you know, when I actually feel like, right, is he actually going to do something to me? So anyway, we're driving towards it and he's just speeding just so I can't open the door. So we come to a stop sign and I see it and I'm thinking, this is my chance. So we come to a stop sign and he slows down and I open the door quickly, you know, to try and get out. I just open the door and then he grabs me by the neck. So he's in the driver's seat here and as I'm like this to get out the car, he grabs me by the neck and puts me in a headlock and he's choking me and saying, you ain't going nowhere, shut the fucking door now. So my hand's on the door and he's choking me and I had to just shut the door and he's locked the doors again and I'm in the car and this is where I feel scared now because he's now touched me. So I'm really scared, like, oh my God, am I gonna die? Like, am I gonna be severely hurt? Like, what's happening? Like, all jokes aside, this is exactly what I was thinking. So he drives off a bit more now and he's taking me down back roads to avoid any traffic lights. So eventually we come to the end of a road, a junction, and we have to go left or right. And he just went round the corner and there was a red light ahead of us. So I just saw the opportunity again to jump out of the car and I just did it in a way where he wasn't expecting it. So I literally was just quiet in the car, then boom, I just opened the car door and I just literally just ran out, rolled out, and I just ran away and I was so scared. And I picked up my phone and I was still recording in my pocket. Picked up the phone, I just called the police. I was scared. This was at like, I think 12 o'clock at night. And I was on my own. I couldn't call my mum. My mum was asleep and she hated him at that point anyway. And I called the police and as I'm on the phone to 999, he just turns out of nowhere and he runs up to me while I'm on the phone to them. And he's saying, leave me alone, leave me alone. But making it seem like I'm bothering him because I'm on the phone to the police, but he's screaming it to try and save himself. But he's not realizing that we are here because of him, not because of me, because of him. And prior to all of the whole kidnapping bit, we got there because of the things that he did, right? But also it's a choice. And it was like, I understand people get angry. Anger is an emotion, but it is a choice how you deal with that anger. And he didn't have to put me in the car and put me through all of that. That was not something that you have to do, but it's a choice. And I recorded the whole thing purely because I just wanted to record him screaming at me. I was not expecting him to ever, you know, do all of that shit to me, but I had all of it on record. And this was a week before my birthday. It was April 9th, 2012. And the police came and picked me up. And I hate the police. They were just so unbothered about what had happened. And they just gave me like they took a quick statement from me, brought me back to my mum's. and they had I went back to my mum's. I told my mum what happened, and my mum was really, I was crying, I was in hysterics, and my mum was so angry with what had happened, and she was in bed, and she was just like, why would you go and see him? Why would you do that? She was so angry with me. I was like, do you know what, fuck this, and I just walked out of the conversation and went to my bed, right? Got into my bed, and I was just crying myself to sleep, and I get a phone call from my ex. He calls me. He's like, did you call the police? I said, yeah, I did. He's like, why would you do that? Like, I'm not going to get arrested, am I? It's like, well, I don't know, you might. They might come for you. And he's sitting in the car outside his mum's house with his friend, and they're in the car laughing about what's just happened, you know, laughing at me. And him and his friend are both Leos, and they're not understanding the seriousness of his actions. And this was the issue that I had with my ex throughout our relationship, is his anger and how it is just looked at like, oh, it's just what he's like, haha, he. It's not funny, you know. It was really difficult and that's the reason why at the beginning of the video I said, or he said to me, stop calling my dad, because on my side of the family, or my friends, communication is so easy. My family and friends know the whole of me. Whereas on his side, a typical Leo, they like to perform and be portrayed as a certain type of way. And with him, his family did not know him to the extent that I knew him. But speaking to his dad, I wanted to have more of an understanding of what his dad sees in him. And that's what I was doing, right? So they're on the phone, they're laughing, kikiing, you know, and I was really upset by what's just happened. And no one is here for me, but he's on the phone to me. And next thing you know, he says, the police are here. And then they're both on the phone begging me to drop the charges, just drop it. And I'm like, no, because you're just laughing. It's not funny. This isn't funny. This is not how you treat women. And I'm not someone who provokes situations where I'm out here, you know, getting in a man's face, or I'm physically provoking him, like punching him to get a response. That's not the kind of woman that I am. But to be treated like I was, that really, really hurt me. So what happened was the police arrested him and they took him to the station, and I went to sleep. The next day I had missed calls upon missed calls. I picked a call up, which was from his Leo friend, and was saying, honey, you know, so-and-so's been in jail for 13 or so hours, you know, can you just drop the charges, please? And I'm like, it's not nice, is it, when someone's not listening to you or helping you? I'm not helping you. Fuck him. He can stay in there for all I care. And that was my response to him and his friend. And I wanted his friend to hear me say that, because his friend used to laugh about it, like laugh at the fact that my man would treat me the way that he did, which was disgusting, right? So then he called back again, asked again, nope, not happening. Then his dad called me, my ex's dad. And I liked my ex's dad. He was very, very calm, very wise, and was very inviting towards myself. And you know, he called me and he said, honey, can you please drop the charges and I can come and see you and talk to you and your mum about what happened, you know, but please can you just get him out of there? And, you know, me being me, like, I loved this man, like, to the universe and back, right? And just to hear his dad, it just made me weak inside. So I was like, okay, I'll probably go down there in like an hour or so and I'll see what I can do. So I went down there, and the officers did not want me to drop the charges at all. They wanted him in there. And they asked me if anyone had called me and persuaded me, and obviously I had to lie about it and say, oh no one did that to me. And he was out of the station within an hour or so. So anyway, his dad came to my mum's house and his mum as well, and they just listened to the recording that I had, and they didn't really, or his dad didn't really seem shocked by it, because when it comes to Leos, everyone loves a Leo, but no one understands that Leos have major issues with being able to communicate about negativity, and they have this massive outburst in the wrong type of way. And that's what I love about knowing about astrology, that I can read these things, but people who don't know don't understand these problems or these things. And all he did was apologize, and it was cool. And my mum just told the dad bare business. Like, my mum just told him bare shit that was going on that his dad didn't even know about. And his dad was like, oh, he wants to speak to you and he wants to tell you how sorry he is. And I was like, no. Obviously, I ended up speaking to him anyway. And he was like, I'm just so sorry. Please just let me. I don't want to end things with you. I want to do the right thing, get back with you. I was like, no, I just can't do it. Not right now. I can't do it right now. But this is what he's saying. So then the week later, I booked an appointment at the solicitor's office, and I was advised to get an injunction against him, because my birthday was coming up and I wanted to have a big celebration. I didn't want him to turn up or be there. I also spoke to someone else who got an injunction against her previous partner, and it kept him away from her for a long time. So I ended up going to court on my birthday and taking my evidence with me. And when I went to the solicitor's office, I submitted every single thing that he had ever done to me. Like, there's been bare incidents, and that's not the only one. And I know if I was to ask him, do you remember this now? He would never remember. But I remember being threatened with a gun in my back, right? After he had performed oral sex on me for the first time. And he pointed a gun in my back and said, if I tell my best friend, I'm going to run up in their house and do this and do that to them. Whether the gun was real or not, I don't know. But it's the fact that it was pointed. No, it wasn't pointed in my back. It was placed on the bed behind my back, flat like this, right? And I turned over and that's what I saw. And I was like, what? And that's when he said to me. But that, I would never forget that. And I think he's forgotten. I haven't brought it up ever. But that's something that really sticks with me to this day. And I won my injunction, and he was served the injunction at his house, at his mum's house where he was living at the time. And that's basically what happened. The injunction had been breached, and it was crazy because at those times I was so weak for this guy. It was a horrible way to feel, to be like so infatuated with someone and feel like you have no control. And I remember literally like a few days after or before my after my birthday, this girl who knew that me and him were together messaged my best friend sending her a picture, and the picture was of him in a rave with a girl, and he was grabbing her bum. And I'm just thinking, just a few days ago, you was begging for me back, and you're in a club with this girl. And I'm looking at the chemistry between the two, and I can see that he's not just met her, and they're not just friends. And that when I saw that picture broke me. in pieces. It broke me up. And that was the end to, wasn't even the end to us completely. However, it was just the start of his, let me not even go into it, but just know, you know, I was somebody that got away lightly in, you know, in that situation, you know, and he's I'm cool with him now. We're older now, and things are very much different, and he's learned to tone down his anger a whole lot. Regarding his actions, his mouth is still sick, but you know that the actions he's toned down a whole lot. You know, he's doing better, so good for him. But it's just crazy, man. That's why I always worry about having a daughter, because things like this happen and you've got to be there to support her, and it's just hard. It's hard work. But that's my story of when I got kidnapped and when I had to get an injunction out against someone. And I hope that there are women out there that, you know, don't have to deal with things like that, but understand that the universe will continue to send you signs why this relationship is not working for you. Get out now. The universe will send you those signs, and it's down to you to take heed, to end that relationship before it gets worse and it gets worse. Because if I stayed, you know, in it, and I kept fucking around with him, like, persistently, what could have happened to me? You know, it gets worse. And astrology also plays a very big part in our breakup during that time. Now that I'm heavily into it, I look back at the planets, the transition of the planets and what had happened, and it was the right time for us to break up, 100%. But when you don't listen or take heed when the universe is talking to you, bad things happen. So right now it's 2017. You know, I'm a much older girl. I'm much wiser, and I'm really happy right now. I'm not stressed. I haven't got anyone with anger issues. I have someone who's very calm and very patient with me. I couldn't ask for anything better now. So, you know, when you're in that situation, don't think that this is it for me, that this is going to be it, this is all I can amount to, because it is not. It is not. Your time is never going to be completely over. If you're young, confident, attractive, or even just confident, you can be whatever age. Confidence is always going to attract someone to you. Thanks for watching, guys.